So I intend to go out there and be as violent as possible and make sure that she's leaving there hurt and not just with no doubts in her mind whatsoever, her coaches or her team or anybody.
She still didn't put me out. She didn't finish me, right? I had to go to the decision, which gives me more confidence going into the season with I'm pretty sure that she's going to be the person I see in the finals. But knowing that I've already experienced her hardest punch, her hardest shots, everything she had to offer, and none of it was able to stop me. So that means I can come out even stronger this time with more likelihood of having that hand raised.
Well, takes a step, she has all that weight, you see. I don't want to take the big chance. Oh! And definitely gives in. I'm going to take advantage of it. She has the attack there. She has her leg.
Again, that lead leg.
This referee right back. Forward, Johnson.
Unable to do much of that. And it's over.
Liz Carmouche just sent one of the most shocking warnings yet to Dakota Ditcheva, and now the entire women's MMA world is watching what could become a career-defining collision between the old guard and the dangerous new era. Dakota Ditcheva has been built up as the future of women's mixed martial arts, an undefeated finisher with explosive Muay Thai striking, brutal knees, sharp elbows, speed, confidence, and the kind of charisma promotions dream about. Every time she steps into the cage, she looks like a star ready to break through to the global level. She has already destroyed respected names, battered former UFC title challenger Taila Santos, overwhelmed Sumiko Inaba, and crushed Hasna Gaber in terrifying fashion. To many fans, Dakota is no longer just a prospect. She is the next major force in women's MMA. But now standing across from that hype is a woman who has seen everything this sport can offer, Liz Carmouche. Liz Carmouche is not some random veteran trying to stay relevant. She is one of the most respected pioneers in women's MMA history. She fought in the first women's UFC title fight against Ronda Rousey, competed at the highest level for years, became Bellator champion, and has repeatedly proven that age means nothing when skill, toughness, and experience are still elite. At 41 years old, Carmouche is still winning fights, still knocking people out, still cashing checks, and now she has made it clear she wants Dakota Ditcheva next. That alone changed the conversation. This is no longer about Dakota fighting another prospect or another tune-up opponent. This is about whether the future can survive the past. Fresh off another major win, Liz grabbed attention by calling for the PFL to open bigger opportunities and by openly targeting Dakota Ditcheva for a super fight. That call-out was massive because it instantly created a storyline fans understand. Dakota represents youth, violence, momentum, and hype. Liz represents legacy, grit, championship experience, and danger. It is the classic sports matchup that always sells. The hungry lion versus the battle-tested hunter. Supporters of Dakota believe she would run through Liz the same way she has through many others. They see Dakota as too fast, too sharp, too modern, and too athletic for a veteran in her 40s. They point to her striking arsenal, saying Carmouche would struggle with the knees in the clinch, the kicks to the body, the elbows inside range, and Dakota's constant pressure. They believe Dakota has evolved skills built for the current era of MMA, while older generations relied more on grit than complete systems. In their eyes, Dakota would be too much too soon. But Liz supporters fire back hard. They say Dakota has never faced someone with Carmouche's level of experience, cage IQ, wrestling threat, mental toughness, and championship composure. They argue it is easy to look unbeatable when facing opponents who cannot punish mistakes, but Carmouche has spent years fighting elite competition. She knows how to slow down dangerous strikers, how to pressure against the fence, how to mix takedowns with dirty boxing, and how to mentally drag younger fighters into ugly waters. That is where veterans often win. Not in highlight exchanges, but in moments of discomfort. This is what makes the matchup so dangerous for Dakota. If she beats Liz Carmouche decisively, it would silence critics who say she has not fought enough proven names. It would add a legendary scalp to her resume and likely push calls for a UFC move even louder. It would prove she can handle not just athletic.
النقطة ديال الفايت نهار السبت مع داكوتا إن شاء الله بغيت نخليها مفاجأة للجمهور ولكن أنا أكيد جاية من بلادي وهذه الفرصة اللي تحطيت فيها BFL أكيد بأنني.
Proves me more doubt and wrong. Yeah, it feels good. I mean, I listen to so many people talking like throughout this whole tournament. It's nice to get in the cage and showcase my skills and shut them up that way, because I'm not really bothered about like proving them wrong, do you know what I mean? I just kind of get in the cage and prove to myself that they're all
Long range with her kicks, keeping her on the outside.
Nice slip and rip there from Dakota. Push kick, drops, has the Jabber, and then the right hand after it.
Nice job by Dakota keeping that underhook shallow, using that elbow to frame her out and keep distance where she can create some space and let her hands go in this clinch range.
Jabber's looking out of her element here. She's hurt to the body. That's it.
The end of the fight?
Opponents, but elite veterans with real championship histories. It would also strengthen the idea that she is ready for names like Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso, or any top flyweight in the world. But if Dakota loses, the narrative flips overnight. Suddenly, the "Future Queen" label gets questioned. Fans would ask whether she was protected, whether the hype came too early, and whether she was exposed by the first truly seasoned veteran she faced. In fight sports, perception changes fast. One night can build a legend or crack the foundation. For Liz Carmouche, the stakes are just as massive. She has already built a respected legacy. She does not need Dakota to validate her career. But beating the undefeated star everyone talks about would be one of the biggest late-career statements imaginable. It would prove she is not a name from the past, but still a present-day threat. It would remind the MMA world that greatness does not disappear because younger fighters arrive. Sometimes greatness adapts. Sometimes it waits. Then it ruins the party. There is also a bigger business story here. The PFL needs stars, and Dakota is one of the biggest stars they have. She is marketable, exciting, undefeated, and easy to promote. Losing momentum around her would hurt. But making a fight with Liz Carmouche could be smart business because it creates a real event. Fans understand champion versus legend, youth versus veteran, finisher versus grinder. That is the type of fight that gets attention outside hardcore MMA circles. And then there is the UFC shadow hanging.
I think that'd be amazing. I think when Dakota's healthy, I would love a chance to be able to fight Dakota.
One of the dream fights I want to see is White House, myself and Dakota. And that's a huge bucket list item to be able to do, like fight in front of the president in the White House. Like, who wouldn't want to do that? And I think that Dakota and I both have the skills and the excitement to bring it, to showcase everything that everybody wants to see and make that the fight that people see.
She could start asserting some dominance on this round, in my opinion. Oh,
Love tear, big ass. Bishop's in bed. Stop. And Liz Carmouche pounds out a world tournament victory.
Hanging over everything. Dakota Ditcheva's name has been tied to UFC speculation for a long time because fans believe she belongs on the biggest stage. Many think she could instantly become a player in the women's flyweight division. Others believe she still needs more tests. That is why Liz Carmouche matters. She can become the gatekeeper between hype and proof. If Dakota dominates Liz, UFC pressure increases. If Liz beats Dakota, the entire timeline changes. Stylistically, the fight would be fascinating. Dakota would likely want range, movement, clean striking entries, and moments in the clinch where she can land knees and elbows before exiting. She thrives when opponents cannot match her rhythm. Liz would likely want to close distance, make it physical, pin Dakota to the cage, test her balance, wear on her legs, mix dirty boxing, and force Dakota to fight at a veteran pace instead of a young star pace. Whoever controls distance probably controls the fight. Mentally, it is also huge. Dakota carries expectations now. Every performance gets judged like a future champion should dominate. That pressure can become heavy. Liz has already lived through title fights, scrutiny, wins, losses, and reinventions. She knows how to stay calm in chaos. Sometimes younger stars feel invincible until they meet someone who refuses to be impressed. Liz is exactly that kind of opponent. Another reason fans love this storyline is symbolism. Dakota Ditcheva is often described as the future. Everyone thought Dakota Ditcheva was about to make the jump to the Ultimate Fighting Championship. Undefeated, violent, marketable, and one of the fastest rising names in women's MMA, she looked like the perfect signing for Dana White. Fans were convinced it was only a matter of time before she walked into the octagon and shook up the flyweight division. But instead of leaving, Dakota stunned the fight world by re-signing with the Professional Fighters League and keeping herself at the center of one of the biggest promotion battles in combat sports. That decision changed everything. Dakota didn't just stay loyal to PFL, she made it clear she wanted a deal that secured her future and respected her value. She openly said she was happy in the end because the agreement took time and had to be right for both sides. That tells you something important.
The PFL has really gone behind your teammate Dakota Ditcheva. First off, what do you think of her performances so far this year?
Oh, she's a killer. She's a killer. She's the future of MMA, and I think that she's only getting better. She's young, she's hungry, she's disciplined, she's motivated. She's got a good head on her shoulders.
Dakota knows exactly how big a star she is becoming. She understands that she's no longer just another fighter chasing opportunities. She is the opportunity. Promotions now need her as much as she needs them. The reason so many fans believed UFC was next is simple. Dakota has the kind of style that creates instant buzz. She doesn't point fight. She hurts people. Her Muay Thai striking, knees in the clinch, sharp elbows, speed, and finishing instinct make her one of the most exciting women in MMA today. Every time she fights, there's a feeling something violent could happen at any second. That kind of energy sells tickets, builds highlights, and turns fighters into stars. Then there's the resume. Dakota blasted through PFL competition and scored one of the biggest wins of her career by defeating Taila Santos, a woman many fans believed nearly beat Valentina Shevchenko in the UFC. When Dakota handled Santos impressively, people immediately started asking the obvious question. If she can beat someone like that, what could she do against UFC champions? And Dakota hasn't exactly been shy about her confidence. She has said she believes she could beat names like Valentina Shevchenko and Alexa Grasso. That's not small talk. That's a direct challenge to the best flyweights in the world. She's not asking for tune-up fights or slow development. She believes she can walk into the UFC and fight for gold. That confidence is one reason fans are obsessed with her future. Still, the reality is more complicated than simply signing with UFC tomorrow. PFL knows Dakota is one of its biggest stars. She has the look, the record, the skill set, and the momentum to headline cards and carry women's MMA for the company. Letting her walk to UFC would be a major loss.
Even though I look up to her a lot, I still want to be in her position and be able to beat someone like her. So.
You could fight any female right now. Who would you want to go with?
Valentina Shevchenko right now. I want to be at the top.
This is legacy versus legacy to be. Valentina is one of the most well-rounded fighters in MMA history. She reads opponents like code, downloads your game in real time, and exploits the first bug she finds. Dakota? She's got that unorthodox rhythmic striking that could actually throw Valentina off early. Long knees, feints, switch kicks from odd angles. But here's where edgy gets real. Dakota still needs more 5-round reps. Her pace can dip late, and Valentina is the queen of championship round adjustments. Still, imagine a fully dialed in Dakota with sharpened counter wrestling and championship caliber cardio on point. If she dethrones Shevchenko, especially by spectacular knockout, it wouldn't just be an upset. It would catapult Dakota into instant superstardom and turn her into a household name overnight. We're talking late show appearances, global endorsements, the works. That's the rocket ship moment everyone's waiting on, and it would stamp her GOAT application in permanent ink.
Not just competitively but commercially. That's why re-signing her was so important. It keeps one of the sport's hottest names under their banner and sends a message that they can retain elite talent. So is Dakota going to the UFC? Right now, not immediately. She chose to stay with PFL, and by her own words, she secured something important for herself and her family. But that doesn't mean the UFC story is dead. In MMA, things change fast. One fight, one contract ending, one massive offer, or one super fight opportunity can shift everything overnight. Dakota is still young, still unbeaten, and still improving. If she keeps winning, the UFC door will remain wide open.